Welcome back to the Rangers Rundown, your go-to for all the fan-filled noise, news and nonsense from Ibrox. Now, 2 weeks ago, we brought you a full odds breakdown of the next Rangers manager. Back then, we were talking names like a return for Stevie G, Pascal Jansen, the special one, and Kevin Muscat. Big shouts, big debates, and plenty of feedback from you lot in the comments. But the landscape has shifted. Some of those names have fallen away, and new ones have emerged. According to rumours swirling around the takeover talks, the incoming owners, the 49ers Enterprises, are said to be after someone totally fresh. A complete reset. This ain't about old pals or former players. The 49ers incoming want a gaffer with no previous links to Rangers. Does that mean Stevie G, Barry Ferguson and Kevin Muscat all out of the running? Of course, these are still just rumours. Nothing's confirmed. But it's got us thinking. If that's the direction they're heading, who actually fits the bill? So this is your full update. A new shortlist is taking shape and we're breaking down the names being linked right now. Let's get stuck in. Top of the pile, Marco Rose. The former RB Leipzig, Borussia Dortmund and Gladbach boss is arguably the biggest name being considered. He's got pedigree, took Dortmund to the Champions League knockouts, won the German Cup with Leipzig, and is all about high-energy, aggressive pressing football. He also led Red Bull Salzburg to back-to-back Austrian Bundesliga titles in 2017-18 and 2018-19, and even completed the domestic double by winning the Austrian Cup in 2019. The kind of football that gets Ibrox on its feet. He's a builder too, worked his way up through the Red Bull system, learning that famed identity-based football where systems matter more than stars. And let's be honest, after some of the football we've seen this season, that sounds like heaven. But there's a flip side. He was sacked by Leipzig this year. They were struggling in the league, underperforming in Europe. So it's not all sunshine, but that might actually make him gettable. No job, hungry to prove himself again, and Rangers could offer him a proper project. If Rose walks into Ibrox, it's a statement. Not just to Scotland, but to all of Europe. A proper European calibre manager who's done it at Dortmund and Leipzig. It's the kind of appointment we haven't seen since the days of Dick Advocaat or Walter Smith's second spell. Serious ambition. Rose brings pedigree, pressing football, and a modern tactical identity. This wouldn't just turn heads, it'd flip the script on how Rangers are seen in the European landscape. We'd be showing the rest of Scotland and Europe that we mean business under this new ownership. Next up, the football hipster's dream, Kjetil Knutsen. This man's done miracles at Bodo Glimt. Let's put it into context. Knutsen has guided Bodo Glimt to multiple elite Syrian titles, including their historic first in 2020. Not only did they win it, they obliterated the league, finishing the season with 81 points and a goal difference of 71. That was the year they beat Jose Mourinho's Roma 6-1 in Europe, and it wasn't a fluke. He's turned Bodo Glimt into a team nobody wants to face. His football is bold, attacking and calculated. A 4-3-3 with pressing triggers, fluid overlaps and positional play that allows his teams to dominate even against bigger clubs. But more than that, it's the club culture he's created. Every player buys in. The recruitment is precise, the style never changes, and when someone leaves, there's a plan to replace them. He's built a club culture too. Every player knows the system. If one leaves, another slots in. That's what Rangers need. Continuity, not chaos. The only issue? He's loyal. Some say too loyal. He's had chances to leave before. Clubs in bigger leagues have circled. But he's stayed put. It's clear he only moves for the right project. But here's the thing. That loyalty could be our greatest asset. If we get Knutsen through the door, we're not just hiring a manager for the next 18 months. We could be locking in a visionary for the next 5 years or more. Someone who builds, evolves and sees the job through. That kind of continuity is gold in modern football, and we've been missing it. If we could tempt Knutsen to Ibrox, we're winning on and off the pitch. He's a culture builder, a style setter and a proper tactician. I genuinely think Knutsen is the dream hire. modern, methodical and capable of building a lasting footballing identity. His work at Bodo Glimt proves he doesn't just win games, he transforms clubs. His teams have a clear identity, his methods are proven in Europe, and he could bring long-term stability, something we've lacked for years. I reckon he's the smartest appointment we could make, but the hardest to pull off. Now here's a name that's not as flashy as Rose, but still worth a proper look. Ralph Hasenhuttl. You might remember him from his time at Southampton. He kept them in the Premier League for several seasons despite a modest budget, and while he's remembered by many for the 9-0 losses, he also masterminded memorable wins, including victories over Liverpool, Arsenal and Chelsea. Before that, he worked wonders at RB Leipzig, guiding them to a second-place finish in the Bundesliga in their very first season in the top flight, 2016-17, which secured Champions League football, a huge achievement for a newly promoted side. He also had success at FC Ingolstadt 04, where he earned promotion to the Bundesliga and kept them up the following season. That trajectory, from promotion to stability to top-level management, shows a clear ability to grow with a club. Yes, he's just been sacked by Wolfsburg after a poor run, but context matters. He inherited a struggling squad and had little time to implement his methods. And no, he doesn't have the silverware some of the others on this list do, but what he does have is experience. Proper experience in top leagues. And crucially, a system-based approach that the 49ers reportedly want. High pressing, quick transitions and a fierce work rate. That's the Hasenhuttl way. He might not win the fan poll, but tactically and structurally, he fits what Rangers are trying to build. If Rose is the star hire and Knutsen is the dream, then Hasenhuttl is the solid middle ground. He won't light up YouTube with sexy tactics videos, but he'll install discipline and direction. Two things we badly need. He's got the CV, the tactical foundation, and the top flight experience to steady the ship and implement a long-term identity. It might not be the most glamorous appointment, but it could be one of the smartest. Shaun Dyche, a name that refuses to go away. Now, before you scoff, let's be honest. Dyche has done some impressive things in his career. He took Burnley to Europe in 2018, a remarkable achievement for a club of their size and budget. He kept them in the Premier League for multiple seasons with limited resources and earned a reputation for building tough, organised and hard-to-beat teams. At Everton, he walked into chaos and managed to steer them clear of relegation, twice, despite serious points deductions and financial instability. His reputation as a man manager is solid. Players speak highly of his leadership and he's known to foster team spirit and unity. But Rangers isn't Burnley. And it certainly isn't Everton. We're not looking to scrape by or play survival football. We're trying to build a modern identity, play high-pressing, progressive football and compete in Europe. Dyche's style, while effective in certain contexts, just doesn't match the direction we're heading. His football is pragmatic, physical and at times rigid. And while he's known for making the most of what he has, we need someone who can bring out the best in the system, not just grind out 1-0 wins. Yes, he worked with Kevin Thelwell at Everton, but that shouldn't be the basis for the most important hire of the next decade. I just don't think Dyche is the right fit. He's a warrior, no doubt, and deserves respect for what he's achieved. But we're not in a relegation fight. We're chasing titles and European nights. We need a visionary. Someone who can modernise the way we play, not double down on grit. If this is truly a fresh era, Dyche feels like a step backward, not forward. Let's zoom out for a minute. The reason we're even talking about these kinds of names, Rose, Knutsen, Hasenhuttl, is because the board, and more specifically the incoming 49ers Enterprises ownership, are aiming to build a long-term identity. This isn't about quick fixes or sentimental appointments. It's about structure, continuity, philosophy. No more stop-start football. No more ripping it all up every 2 years when things go sideways. The idea is simple. Build a foundation. If Rose leaves, you don't panic. You bring in the next coach from the same mould. That's how modern football clubs are winning today. This is the Red Bull model. This is the Brighton model. Clear playing style, smart recruitment, managers who slot in rather than overhaul. Rangers want to get smart, build sustainably and win consistently, at home and in Europe. That's why names like Gerrard, Barry Ferguson, Derek McInnes, Kevin Muscat, they're out of the frame. It's not about grudges or reputations. It's not personal. It's strategic. The past brought some highs, but the future needs something new. So who's it going to be? Marco Rose, the big-name rebuild boss who brings Bundesliga and European pedigree, trophies in Germany and Austria, and a track record of building pressing systems that excite fans. Kjetil Knutsen, the culture-building tactician from Norway, tactical genius, quiet operator, a man who transforms clubs, not just teams. The dream long-term appointment who could give us 5 years of consistent progress. Ralph Hasenhuttl, the experienced system coach. He's seen it all: Bundesliga promotion, Champions League with Leipzig, and steadying ships in England. Maybe not glamorous, but arguably the most balanced candidate. Shaun Dyche, the gritty motivator who gets results against the odds. A respected figure, a leader of men, but does his style truly suit a club chasing European identity and modern tactics? All of them come with questions. All of them bring different strengths. But for the first time in a long time, it finally feels like Rangers are asking the right questions. This isn't about nostalgia. This isn't about headlines or who lifts the mood short term. It's about finding the right leader to build a footballing project, a vision that outlasts a manager, that reshapes the club from top to bottom. So, who do you want in the dugout? Who do you trust to lead us into this new 49ers era? Let us know in the comments below. And as always, hit that like button if you're buzzing for change, subscribe if you haven't already, and keep it locked to the Rangers Rundown. We'll be tracking every twist and rumour until the new man walks through the Ibrox doors. Cheers for listening, and we'll see you next time.